Well, about 2 weeks ago, we told you that the West Virginia Public Service Commission was going to impose a $2 million fine against Suddenlink.
And it is the largest penalty of its kind for a utility in the state to date, but many customers are wondering if they will ever see that money or improvements to service. News Channel 3's Kelsey Soto went to the head of the PSC to find out what this all means and shows us how customers will see some of that money soon.
For nearly 2 years, we've been telling you about the long-running customer complaints against cable service provider Suddenlink.
Have you ever dealt with a company of this magnitude?
I have not dealt with a company that had this many complaints against it.
Charlotte Lane, the chairman of the West Virginia Public Service Commission, says their investigation found Suddenlink failed to provide safe, reliable, and adequate service. So they hit the company with a major penalty in the form of a more than $2 million fine. But what does that mean for customers? Chairman Lane says cable subscribers will actually be getting the money from that fine back, and soon.
That money is going to be returned to the customers as a credit on their next bill. And so we will take the number of customers that Suddenlink has and divide that into the $2.2 million, and that will be the amount of the credit.
So how did we get here? Chairman Lane says the number of complaints against Suddenlink has steadily increased for years. In 2016, there were 118. By 2020, there were more than 1,000. They say when the company sold its business to Altice USA in 2015, service went from bad to worse.
Can you talk about the nature of the complaints you guys get? I know in our office, it's a lot of internet.
We get a lot of complaints that on the cable that they lose service altogether, or we get pixel, the pictures sort of start jumbling and stuff like that. And then the complaints are that when they call to get satisfaction, because the call centers are abroad, there is a language barrier. We also got complaints that because Suddenlink basically dismissed all of their in-house technicians, that their contract technicians aren't fully trained and will show up and not have the equipment that they need, or don't show up at all, or there's a long time before a person can actually make a service appointment.
According to the official order, some of Suddenlink's contractors weren't properly registered and licensed to do business in the state. They also charged excessive late fees during the year 2020.
Do you feel like Suddenlink has kind of taken advantage of the people of West Virginia for a long time?
Yes, I feel that when Suddenlink was sold to Altice, that they just have ignored their customers since then, and Suddenlink does not seem to have a culture of providing service to customers.
Is there anything in place to prevent consumers from ending up having to foot this bill?
We don't have rate regulation over cable companies, so if Suddenlink decides to start raising rates, then there's not a whole lot we can do about that except try to cajole them into saying this looks like retaliation, and do you really want to do this?
Along with the fine, Suddenlink was also ordered to open a call center in the state with plans due to the PSC within 90 days. Chairman Lane says she believes this will serve the biggest impact for customers.
How optimistic are you that they're actually going to give you their plans and open a call center here?
I am very optimistic. I think that Suddenlink recognizes that West Virginia is their largest customer base, and I think that this order should have gotten their attention.
Certainly time will tell. As of August 21st, the PSC has received more than 2,700 complaints. Commissioner Lane says those fines will continue to rack up if service does not improve and changes aren't made. I feel like we've been talking about this for quite a while now.
Forever.
Deja vu.
Yeah.
Chairman Lane says that they also get a lot of complaints like we do about internet, but the PSC really has no legal authority to take action on internet issues because it isn't considered a regulated utility in this state. So the benefit, though, is that some customers have bundled service, so they have both cable and internet. So that's where they can step in and intervene and help you. So we're still working to get the exact number of dollars people can expect back on their bill and a few other details, so we'll be sure to bring that to you later this week.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks. Sounds good, Kelsey. And Suddenlink released a statement in part that says we have made and continue to make substantial investments in our network and customer support that are resulting in significant improvements in performance.
Now, we have cooperated with the West Virginia PSC over the course of its review and are reviewing today's order. If you would like to read the full statement, we have it for you on WSAZ.com.